I keep my goals to myself, cause whenever I share with folks, they get a look upon their face and their memory floats to a time where their goals and the stars ain't...
What's good? We're going to get into SummerSlam Night 1 from August the 1st, 2026. This was a pretty okay show for the most part. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the main event, and I enjoyed the co-main event. I didn't really care about the 6-man tag, nor did I care about the 6-woman tag. I didn't care about those. I enjoyed Gunther and Nick Aldis. I thought that was good. But the women's matches on this show were quite weak. So there's that. Overall, I did have a little bit of fun watching this show. There's that. So before we get into the review, WrestleTix, they are reporting that the total ticket distribution is 36,683. So that's good. So the total setup for the show was basically 37,930K. So there's that. So they nearly distributed 1,800 tickets. So that's pretty good there. So really good stuff there. So night 2 usually is always going to be the bigger night. I'm going to say maybe that gets to 38, maybe even 39K. So that's fine there. I like that. So let's go ahead and get into the show. I want to do this review a little bit differently. So I'm going to go over the main event and the co-main, and then from there we'll get into the remainder of the show, because those are the two most important matches. Everything else really didn't matter on this show. So main event of the evening, Brock Lesnar is defeated by Oba Femi. This match was solid. This was a very good inside Hell in a Cell match. This was a really good Hell in a Cell match. I thoroughly enjoyed this match. This was fun. So, Oba came out first. Brock came out. Paul Heyman introduced Brock and everything else and all that stuff. Oba dominated early on in the match for a brief moment with uppercuts and clotheslines. Brock came back, started taking Oba to Suplex City. Oba popped right up after German Suplex number 3, which was insane. Oba Femi is a bad motherfucker. So they began to bring weapons into the ring, steel chairs and stuff like that. So Oba and Brock, they brawled on the outside. I mean, in the cell. So Oba threw Brock around it a couple times. Brock threw Oba into the steel steps. Oba got back in the ring. Brock ended up hitting Oba with the steel steps a couple times, which was great. So Brock ended up doing another German suplex, which was German suplex number 4. So Oba ends up hitting a fall from grace. Brock kicked out. So there's that. Brock was able to hit not 1, not 2, but 3 F5s. Oba kicked out. That was fucking awesome right there. So Lesnar ended up hitting Oba with the chair over and over again. Oba was selling it very well. So then Brock ended up kicking into the ring. He ended up tearing up the ring and exposed the wooden boards underneath. So Brock was about to set up for an F5, but he ended up doing a tombstone on it, and I thought that was over. But Oba kicked out, which was fucking insane. Oba stood up, and Brock Lesnar lost his shit. It was hilarious. It was awesome. So Brock attempted to use a steel chair. Oba punched it. And then he hit a fall from grace. 1, 2, 3, Oba wins. This match was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this. The crowd loved this because we knew that both Brock Lesnar matches are going to be relatively short, especially modern day Brock Lesnar. You're going to get about, at best, 10 to 12 minutes, which I think that's what this was. This was about at least, I want to say 12 minutes, which is fine. Yeah. It was. So, yeah, it was 12 minutes exactly. Good stuff here. So, post-match, Oba celebrates and everything else. So, Lesnar's out looking emotional and everything else. He stares into Oba. He tells Oba to get into the ring and everything else. The two of them, they embrace, which is great. And basically, Brock passed the torch to Oba. He said that he's the past and Oba's the future, and that was it. So, good stuff here. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Oba is the new Brock Lesnar, and I don't hate that at all. I've been a fan of Oba since I first saw him back in NXT, right after 2.0. Well, right during 2.0, I knew Oba was something special then, and I have been a massive fan of his ever since. The guy's fucking phenomenal. He's going to be a multi-world champion the world time's over. So good stuff here. I actually enjoyed this. This was great. Really, really good stuff here. Love this. Oba is definitely a future star in the making. And he definitely needs to be the one to dethrone Roman Reigns. So, there's that. Moving on from that, the co-main event, CM Punk defeats Cody Rhodes to retain the World Heavyweight Championship with help from Randy Orton. Yes. So, this was great. I love this. This match was good here. So, Punk and Cody brawled a little bit and everything else. Punk got the upper hand early on in the match and everything. They ended up working on the arm of Cody. Cody ended up working on the leg of CM Punk, which was great. So Cody was able to hit a Cody cutter. Punk kicked out. Then he ended up hitting a figure four, locking it in. Punk got out of it. Punk ended up applying the Anaconda Vice in. Cody got out of that, which was great. So they continued to fight some more and everything. CM Punk went for a beautiful moonsault, but he missed it. He ended up hitting Cody with go to sleep, but Cody rolled out the ring and everything, and Punk sold his knee very well. So CM Punk ended up clearing the announce table. Same with Cody. So CM Punk attempted to do the elbow drop. He missed. He crashed and burned through the table, which was fucking great. Then, Cody ends up hitting a Cody cutter. So Punk kicked out. Then Punk went for a GTS. Cody got out. He ended up hitting a crossroads onto Punk. Punk rolled out. There was a ref bump involved. I think Cody was going to go for another Cody cutter. He accidentally hit Charles Robinson. Out of nowhere, Randy Orton shows up. He RKOs Cody Rhodes. The fans lost their shit. Same with me. So Orton then plays to the crowd and then looks at the hard cam. So then Punk ends up hitting a GTS. Charles Robinson comes through. Counts 1, 2, 3. And CM Punk is still World Heavyweight Champion. This is great. I love this. This match was really, really good. This got the most time out of any match. I think this match went about shit, a good 20 plus minutes, maybe 22 to 25 minutes. This was very, very good stuff here. I absolutely love this. This was a great match. Randy showing up is great. I figured he would. I predicted that he would anyway. I actually thought that he was going to show up post match and attack Cody, but thankfully he showed up in the towards the end of the match. So Cody is apparently out of the title picture. He lost clean to Punk, and it looks like they're going to be feuding Randy and Cody for the remainder of the year, which is what I predicted, and that's the right decision. Like, literally, you could have Cody and Randy feud for the remainder of the year. You only have 5 months left anyway, so why not do that anyway? So that's perfect right there. So this is going to be taking up the rest of the summer for both Randy and Cody, and probably the fall too. So we should get a blood feud from these guys for the remainder of the year. This is great. Excellent stuff. Good stuff. Like I said, this is when the crowd came alive the most. The last two matches. All right, moving on from that, this leads us into the first match of the night. Liv Morgan retains the Women's World Championship against Io Sky. This match was kind of so-so. It wasn't as good. During the start of the match, Io attempted to use a fan to get her on the barricade and jump off of it. Liv took out her knee and everything else. Io ended up hitting the Oblivion. Liv kicked out of that. Io attempted to do the moonsault. Liv got out of dodge. Towards the end of the match, Judgment Day, they show up, they get involved, and they basically kind of ruin the match. Liv ends up hitting a Oblivion, and that was it. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, Liv ended up taking a nasty German suplex on the ring apron, followed up by the double knees in the corner from Io. That was fucking insane. That was great there. So, Liv retaining makes sense, I guess. I mean, it is what it is. I was thinking that she was going to lose because Triple H is such a big fanboy of Io. So, I don't know why Io lost, but it's fine, I guess. It seems like they're going to stick with the plan of Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan. I think that's going to be the plan. That's where they're going with this, basically. So, there's that. Good stuff, I guess. It was fine. Moving on from that, this leads us into the 6-man tag. So, Royce Keys, Solo Sikoa, and LA Knight defeated the Usos and Jacob Fatu, the Bloodline. Match was so-so. It was okay. LA Knight got the win. He ended up hitting the BFT onto Jay. The match was so-so. It didn't really last too long, maybe about 10 to 12 minutes anyway. It really wasn't, that big of a match. Jacob had a dumb werewolf mask, which you could tell it was probably bought from either a Walmart or it was ordered from Amazon. One of the two, take your pick. But that shit looked like trash, man. It looked like trash, bro. He should never worn the damn thing. Like, seriously, I don't know why he did that, but it is what it is. It was probably a Triple H idea. Hey, Jacob, go out there and wear this mask. I guarantee you it was a Triple H decision to do that. Probably not, though. But, I don't know why Jacob did that. I mean, again, the match was so-so. It is what it is. Apparently, they're trying to turn Solo babyface. He ended up yeeting in the match, and the crowd went crazy for it. So, I don't know why they're trying to turn Solo babyface, but whatever. It don't really matter. All right, moving on from that. Gunther defeats Nick Aldis. This match was actually quite good. This is another match that I enjoyed on the show. Match didn't go but about 12 minutes, which is fine. I wish they would have gone 15. Nick Aldis looked very, very good in here, you know. They put him over, you know, being a multi-TNA world champion, a multi-TNA tag team champion and everything else. They gave him footage from TNA and a little bit from NWA, which is great. Mickie James, his wife, was there, and his son Donovan was there, so good stuff there. The match was really good, man. Gunther got his chops in and everything else, as per usual. Nick Aldis was fighting underneath. He ended up locking in the Kingsland Cloverleaf, and Gunther was able to get out. Gunther ends up winning via the dumb sleeper hold that he always does. I wish he would get rid of that move, or just do like the multi-man powerbomb that he does, the powerbombs that he does. Just end the match with that. I can't stand that sleeper hold. Unless you're gonna do it like how Moxley does it in AEW, I really don't think Gunther should be doing that to win matches, but it is what it is. Post-match, Nick Aldis got a really good reaction. You know, Mickie James and Donovan came in the ring, and he hugged them both and everything. And he picked up Donovan. Donovan's probably about maybe 7 to 9 years old, probably, more than likely. He's a big kid, though. He's a really big kid. He's pretty big, though. He's pretty damn big for his age. Like, he's pretty damn big, so there's that. Like I say, the crowd was super into Nick Aldis. They were chanting, "You still got it," and everything else. So this is really good stuff here. I like this. Hopefully, this is not the last that we see of Nick Aldis. He doesn't need to put back on the GM suit at all anymore. I would love him to basically go after the U.S. Championship and everything else. I mean, Nick Aldis still has it. He's in his late 30s, but he can still go. All right, moving on from that. Fatal Influence. They defeated the Bellas and Paige. So this match didn't even last but about 8 minutes, which is insane. Basically, Brie got taken out early on in the match. Laney ended up doing a brutal stomp onto the face of Nikki. On Brie, and she was out she was out from there. That was it. That was all she wrote. I'm like, damn. So Paige lost. She ended up eating the rolling encore, and she lost. So they're still kind of pushing Fatal Influence as a faction, not individually. So this is fine. Again, I do expect for Jacy Jayne to end up being the women's U.S. champion in due time. I think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. So there's that. Maybe she'll show up on night 2 of SummerSlam to cost Tiffany Stratton. I think that would be great there. Post-match, the Bellas, they turn on Paige. They end up attacking Paige and taking her out. Nikki ended up doing the rack attack and everything else. And then she said she's not going to let someone like Paige take her spot. I'm like, a spot? What the fuck? What spot do you have? You're there to put people over. You're there to put other women over. What are you talking about? A spot? What spot do you have? Baby girl, this is not like 2012, 2013. Like, what are you talking about? The fuck is she talking about? Oh shit. I was dumbfounded when she said that. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? Like, girl, you're in your late 30s, early 40s at least. Like, come on, like, get real. So I'm guessing they're gonna push the Bellas as a tag team more than likely, and I guess they're gonna put Paige in the singles division, which is fine, but I don't think Paige needs to be wrestling. I think she should be a mouthpiece for one of the new girls to get them over, I guess. I don't fucking know. But damn. But that was SummerSlam. Night 1 was actually pretty decent, you know. I thoroughly enjoyed the main event. I loved Brock and Oba. That was solid. I liked Punk and Cody. That was good, too. That was great. Randy coming back was great, too, which I figured he would come back anyway. He had no choice. I didn't care about the women's matches, really. I didn't. That includes Liv Morgan and Io Sky. I just wasn't really that into it. That should not have opened the show, but it is what it is. And the 6-man tag was so it is what it is. All in all, SummerSlam was pretty okay for the most part. Thoroughly enjoyed night 1. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.